I'll give it some. I'm going to try some things tonight because it's Merry Christmas. I It's Christmas Eve, guys. I just wanted to jump on here in case I know most people are going to be super busy tonight, wrapping presents or having drinks or hanging out with families, but there may be some of you out there who are just on your own. Family is scattered a bit or whatever. And I thought I would jump on and be here for a chat. Now, I may end up for the next however long just end up talking to myself, but that's not a bad thing. At least I get an intelligent conversation out of the evening. But I'd love it if you are happening to stumble on this thing. I'm streaming it on my YouTube channel, on my Nick Phillips Music Facebook page, and on my Aussie Local and Live um, Facebook page. If you happen to stumble on this, please send me a message. You go in the comments, send me a message. I see the comments. And we can just toss back some thoughts back and forward, say hello. Let me know if it's all working. I'm going to try some things tonight where I want to play some videos. And I'm really not sure how to do that with the live stream. So this could be a totally comical experiment. Forgive the singlet, but it's bloody hot. I'm up in Toowoomba at the moment, and I know it's hot everywhere, but I was watching a weather news thing a while ago, and Australia, how great are we? You got, looks like it's going to be storming in Queensland, in southeast Queensland. Down in Melbourne, and it's going to be like 17 degrees on Christmas Day, and apparently Hobart's going to be 15 degrees, and Perth is going to be 40 degrees. We are the greatest continent for being just the mixture of everything you could ever freaking imagine. So I'm not going to rush this tonight. If you do see I'm chatting, send me a message in the comments. If you want to, I'll send you the link where we can come on and have a video chat if you want to. Happy to do that. But it's been an interesting year. For me, it's mixed feelings at this time of the year. I've got my two daughters have come back over from New Zealand, and I'm catching up with them. And so my 4 kids are here, which is brilliant. See them over the holiday period. I'm surrounded by family, which is great. I'll become a divorcee in, I think, 10 days or something. Didn't see that one. Well, maybe I saw it coming. I don't know. It's not like it's a drama and big arguments and everything. It's just like we raised 4 brilliant. Our kids are just the most brilliant people. I know people say that about their kids, but mine, I'll stick by that one that they really are. And anyone who knows them will back them up. And somehow we raised them. They didn't have everything. They never lacked for anything. Always had everything. But as a family of musicians, they weren't surrounded by ultimate luxury. They grew up sharing rooms together, kind of living on top of each other a bit. And I think that has been such a blessing now they're older because they are really close together. And when they've got to make decisions or they're doing something, they're ringing up each other and they're talking about it. And I'm so blessed to see my kids being a tight family between themselves. And my thing is now, I guess, what does the next stage of life bring? I am open for mature, lovely ladies taking me out to dinner. If that's you, let me know. I'm open to that. But yeah, see what this year brings. It's been interesting. Now, here's where I'm going to share a screen for a minute. I was looking at some stuff around Australia and what Aussies think. And I'll pull this up. This is a thing called. Hang on, I've got to go share a screen, I think, here. Excuse me. Singing all last weekend. I got a bit of a scratchy throat, and I've always had this sinus problem. You get this little nasal drip which tickles your throat, and it's annoying as hell. Don't forget, if you are watching this, if you do stumble across it, give me a comment. I can see the comments, I think, from all the platforms. They pop up here. Just say, hi, Nick, how you going? Whatever. I just got to find out how to do this. I want to share a screen. So if I go to there, share. Okay, you guys can see that. Okay, it's coming up. Good, good, good. So I'll go back to that page. Am I sharing the wrong one? I'm sharing the wrong one. Hang on. Go back to here. Go back to place the screen. Maybe it's that one. No, not that one. That one. Okay. This is a site talking about what are important to Australians. And if you look up here, this is December 25. The most important thing, 61%, is the cost of living. I can vouch for that. Totally. As a musician, two things that we struggle with is one, we need to get back to, sorry, my nose is a bit runny, how we sell tickets to create events we sell tickets to. But also we still do gigs where we turn up at the local venues and we pay, and the money we get paid these days is worse than what we got paid in the 90s. There are more people who are hacks who are out there who will just keep doing stuff for next to nothing. During COVID, the venues kind of pushed us down, and now they're taking super out on top of. They're not adding super onto our fees. They're taking it out. Our money's just getting devalued all the time. So the cost of living is just becoming incredibly hard. And I know people think, why do you keep doing the gig? Well, when it's what you do, it's what you do. You know, it's like being a musician and turning up and playing or writing music or producing music and everything's actually not my job as much as it is who I am. It's a part of my DNA. And I know that's the same for many musicians, but I don't know if you can see it on this screen here. It's probably a bit small, but it says that important things to Australians, 61% is the cost of living. The next thing that Aussies are worried about is housing. 43% consider housing to be the biggest issue. Totally get that. I think my generation has a lot to answer for in the way we've prioritised maximising your returns and profits in housing to at the cost of our kids being able to afford a house these days. And it's not just in Australia, that's around every Western country. Different in China. And I will have this discussion with anyone who wants to chat about it. But I spent 10 years going back and forwards in China. And when I first went over there, pretty much most people rented. Had these big apartment blocks that were owned by the real estate companies or investors and whatever, and they, or the government, and they rented. President Xi came in and he said their goal was to build the middle class, which they focused on, and they encouraged people to invest in the share market, to invest in businesses, particularly startup businesses, to push their own businesses. They had incentives in place to help people learn how to run their own businesses. And he said that real estate was not for investment purposes, but for you to own your own home. Now, China has 97%, I believe it is, home ownership. So it can be done. We just have to figure out how we get across the greed that we've sort of grown up with. Next thing is crime. The economy in general is at 26%. Healthcare is important to Australians. big issue for 24% of Aussies. I don't think. I I think one of the great things about our country is Medicare. We've done that really well. And here's a chart that shows all these things. Now, we've got to be aware what happened down in Sydney was absolutely terrible. Anything like that is terrible. Anything where innocent people get killed is terrible. But they are trying to make a big deal out of the differences between us and the races and the politics and the religion and all that stuff. But to Australians, when you come back to over here is 2025, 4% of Australians think that's an issue. Yet it's a big driver for our politicians at the moment. So we just need to be aware of these things. But cost of living is by far the main important thing to us. Having said that, I was watching a news show tonight where it said that Australians spent, I think, 72 billion on gifts for Christmas. Maybe we need to grow up a little bit. Maybe we need to be a bit more mature about what we're doing. Anyway, that's just a little thing I thought I would toss in there. How are we going with comments? Where we got a couple of people there. Oh, join me there. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. So, if you're on your own tonight and feel like having a chat, please let me know. I'm going to share a few music things here that I would like you to possibly look at. Okay, once again, I'm trying to figure out how to share this screen and change things, guys, so give me a sec. Replay screen sharing. I want to go to... I haven't done this before, guys, so give me a sec. Just put up with me. This bloke, Darren Middleton. Darren, of course, was one of the guitarists and singers and major members, songwriters of the band Powderfinger. Great bunch of blokes. I know Bernard. I know Ian, probably best of all of them. I know Darren. Look, I don't know them real well. We've sort of know each other. I really don't know the other two boys, JC and the drummer, but I love Darren's music. Really do. He's had some great albums out. Very indie rock, most of it. But this new album he's got, which I think came out this year, is very acoustic. It's very great acoustic guitar playing music. I don't think, from what I can gather, I can't play his songs on this little channel because of the copyright issues with YouTube. But I would encourage you, this is on a site called Bandcamp, right? So you go to put in Darren Middleton Bandcamp, Bandcamp, and it brings up Darren's album. And the good thing about Bandcamp is you actually go on and you buy the album or you buy the tracks. I think Bandcamp take like 12, 13%, something like that, but the rest of the money comes straight to you. When you stream the music on Spotify or Apple Music or any of those other ones, we don't get anything, guys. Honestly, like every year, you're lucky to get enough to get a cup of coffee. On Bandcamp, you actually buy the music, you download it, it's there on your device, and you use it. And we, as artists, get the money. So that's one artist I'd really encourage you to check out, Darren Middleton. Great music. I really love his music. Another one I want to share with you is, how do I do this now? I had this guy on for an interview on my podcast, Junga G, Indigenous artist who's like, he's like the old school R&B with an Australian feel, an Australian vibe, and his songs are great. Betting on Black, check out the video. But once again, this is his Bandcamp site. You can go there and buy his music, download it to your computer or your phone. You own the music, everything else, and he gets the money. So please check that out. Hang on, my phone's doing something. What's going on here? Severe storm warning. Let me check this out. What's it saying? I'm up in Toowoomba. There is lightning nearby. It's a yellow alert, so it's around 30 kilometres around here. I think Brizzy's getting hit as well. I'm hoping the weather clears up by Friday because on Boxing Day I'm supposed to be playing at the beer garden at South Bank, and that's one of the I don't know why I book it, but it's one of those gigs that is at the mercy of the weather. And if it's raining, they just cancel on the day, and you're like, Fortunately, I work with some lads who try and make sure they fill it for me as agents. It's such a great venue, South Bank, paradise. So many people around. The sights you see are very entertaining. For an old boy who's a single man, is a benefit of being a musician. You can look at your audience while you're playing and enjoy the views you see. Anyway, Jungaji, love his music. He's got some really good political statements in what he does. Some great songs in general. Check him out, guys. Buy his music, follow him, and go see him play. I highly recommend it. Okay. Next thing I'll talk about is me. Where's my page here? I'm trying to work this stuff out. Hang on, get rid of that. Back to here, go to there. I'm not used to doing live streams, guys. This is like bringing up my screen at the same time is a whole new world for me. Okay, I'm going to bring up this is my Bandcamp page. And this is if you see a particular song here, like Advance Australia Wear, I'm just going to go back to that one. If you click on, you can buy that song. But what I also have down here is you can get my full digital discography. Click on that. On that. Go away. You can actually buy, I think there's like over 120 songs of mine off different albums for $64. You get the whole lot. They're there. Different things you can see. But I thought I'd play this song. I'm going to play a few of my songs because I think I'm okay playing my songs. They're my copyright, so I own them. So I thought I'd play some, but History's Pages. That was a song I wrote in the really early part of COVID. So once again, I mentioned for whether it's Darren Middleton, Jai, Nick Phillips, go to Bandcamp, Bandcamp, search for our music. Please buy it there rather than streaming it on Spotify or Apple Music or any of the other ones. We get the money for our albums, for our music there. It's really not expensive, So basically, my songs are there for like about 50 cents each. And you really help out for what we do. So if you're looking at a last minute thing to share with people, you can buy gift vouchers there to download the music. And please just let your friends know about it. Say to them, hey, if you came out and watched Nick play over the years, go check out his music at Bandcamp, Nick Phillips, Nik Phillips. Download my music. While you're there, check out Darren Middleton, check out Jungaji, sorry. I keep getting that mixed up. Sorry, buddy. And look for other local musicians as well. A lot are on Bandcamp. It's a really good setup for artists. And I do that. But this song, in recent years, I haven't released many original songs because I don't know what to do with them. Yeah, back in the main days, I could write my songs, put them on a CD. I had a couple of record deals. But a lot of the time, I would turn up and sell my CDs at gigs. Now, over the year, you might sell, if you get to sell 1,000 CDs over the year at $20 a CD, that adds quite a lot to your income. No one has CD players anymore. Everyone streams it, and we get no money for our music. So I'd like to. I don't know what to do with my original music. I've got so many songs that I'm half written. I think I should get focused on that, but What do I do with them? I put them up. I spend, you spend maybe a few days writing the song, you spend days recording it, you got costs in recording it. Suddenly you got a song, you want to put it out there, you market it, and you can't make money out of it. So you've kind of wasted a week or 2 weeks of your time creating music that can't be self sustained. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm not going to give up. It's what I love doing. It's, as I said, it's in my DNA. That's what I'll keep doing. But particularly in times like through COVID was a time where you're dealing with a lot of mental stuff. And for me, writing songs is actually a bit of a therapy process. So I wrote a couple of songs which I'll play for you tonight. The first noise is outside my window. By the way, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. New Year's is coming up. New Year's Eve, I am with my mate Tuffy up at the Full Moon Hotel at Shorncliffe. It's our third New Year's Eve up there, and every year's been great. This year, apparently, the restaurant's booked out for 2 sittings already, so you can't get restaurant meals, but you can come along. There's room to come along, but it's going to be a big night. The theme this year is dancing in the moonlight. They're doing like a disco, a disco theme with me and Tuffy, which is going to be fun. I've got a shiny shirt I'll put on, and anyone who's seen us, we go with the flow and we make everything work, and we don't take it too seriously. We just have a lot of fun. If you want to have a lot of fun on New Year's Eve, come to the Full Moon Hotel, the best place in the world, apparently in the southern. No, hang on. Best place in the southern hemisphere to see the full moon from. There at Shorncliffe. Thus, they call the hotel the Full Moon. It's run by a family who've run hotels in Northern Territory for a long time. They know how to run a hotel really, really well. Their food's amazing. Their entertainment is sensational. We're going to have fun. Anyway, I'm going to figure out how to play this song here. I don't know what the volume will be like. I think it works. I'll sit here, play it up here. I wrote this song during COVID in the early days. I did a little shout out about this song a while ago for anyone who's seen the episode. But when COVID first hit, like everyone, we didn't. I was like, we didn't know what was going on. But I was from the beginning. I just had this gut feeling something was weird because every country, pretty much overnight, went down the same road of shutting down and taking. It wasn't a normal situation where viruses or flus or things start spreading. It happens over time and it's gradual. It goes to certain areas, but this happened like bang. All the countries did it, and seemed to me like my first instinct was this is something weird that our intelligence services were worried about. They've told all the governments to shut down because something's happening that they don't really know about. And I mentioned that to some people who were on the Premier's um, group she'd put together or some advisory board. They said, "Oh no, it's just a natural thing. But it's really, really bad." And I said, "It doesn't seem bad." But to me, the question was, we weren't prepared for this situation. And one of the things that happened was that in a time of emergency, I believe you get the most intelligent people to the table, you get the experts to the table, but we shut Parliament down. We shut down all those things, and basically the Premier and one or two advisors made all the decisions out of directives. We weren't hearing the voices of experts through this whole thing. Many of the experts got shut down because they dissented against what the government was saying. And this got me thinking about where we are as a country. Is that what the way we want our politicians to work? I looked at, okay, this is an emergency situation, but we've dealt with that before. And actually, like you look at World War One, we lost a lot of people in World War One that kind of got abused by British military leaders. While our soldiers were over there, not only did they fight the war, they also fought the Spanish flu, which killed so many people. they came back and we kind of lifted them up. And there's a line in the song where I say we carried the wounded to safer high ground. And out of that, we built an Australian spirit. And I compared that to what I was seeing around me with the COVID thing, where politicians were doing nothing, where people were fighting in supermarkets over toilet paper rolls. And I just thought, we've got to figure out where we're going, guys. We just come out of droughts. We had issue with floods. That's Aussie. That's what happens here. Then this thing hit, and we were like rudderless. And we had no leadership. And to this day, with the stuff going around now, we have no one standing up and uniting people. Everything's about how they divide people. And kind of instead of bringing us together as all Australians, it's like, how do they divide us more and more? So that's what this song's about. It's about where do we want our country to go? Where do we want Australia to be? And I think the saving grace for Australia is our young generation coming through. They're so much smarter than I am. They're so much smarter than my generation. And they smell bullshit a lot better than I did growing up. So my hope is they will be able to have the conversation about Advance Australia where. Anyway, I'm going to play this song. Hope you like it. It's called History's Pages, and the catchphrase is Advance Australia where.
Footsteps in the hole.
Hang on. Take it back to the beginning. There you go.
Parks are all closed, locked up in chains. No children's laughter restrains, silence reigns. No school bells ringing, footsteps in the holes. No quiet.
So, hang on. As I'm working this stuff out, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change this to. I have a little lyric video for this song. I'll go here, go full screen on that. Let's give that a try. Hope you enjoy it. History's Pages.
Parks are all closed, locked up in chains. No children's laughter restrains, silence reigns. No school bells ringing, footsteps in the holes. No choir singing, there's no chasing balls. Politicians acting quite civil these days, not kissing babies or stomping on graves. Australia sails on tacking into the wind, not sure what tomorrow will bring. And from history's pages, our former stages, battled through hard times before. Yeah, they suffered losses, implanted crosses, then dragged themselves off the floor. So the young and free, all good by the sea, and inspired by what came before, can look at the sky with big open eyes, knowing that we can be more. For people who care, there's a future to share. Advance Australia where. In 1918, the Anzacs sailed home, too tired for glory, too many alone. Having faced war, then facing disease, a terror before that we'd never seen. Oh yes, it's true, we've been here before, and our country's spirit was built through it all. We carried the wounded to safer high ground, walked through the storm and we found. And from history's pages, our former stages, battled through hard times before. Yeah, they suffered losses, implanted crosses, then dragged themselves off the floor. So the young and free, all good by the sea, and inspired by what came before, could look at the sky with big open eyes, knowing that we can be more. For people who care, there's a future to share. Advance Australia where. Once Mama told her I had to Easterly blows, stars come alive and the Southern Cross glows. And dreamtime is calling us back to a place where we knew our souls were free. Seagulls are skimming low over waves. Rain is now falling on dry, dusty plains, with people still wiping smoke from their eyes. Nature is cleaning up big open skies to turn off the darkness, turn off the pain. After the drought there'll always be rain. Another day comes with a new rising sun, and we run towards what we can become. Starting young and free, all good by the sea, and inspired by what came before. Can look at the sky with big open eyes, knowing that we can be more. For people who care, there's a future to share. Advance Australia where? Advance Australia where? Advance Australia where? Advance Australia where?
Here we go. Advance Australia where? Hang on. Let's stop that thing. Let me. Hang on. I don't need Bob playing because I'll probably get me in trouble for a copyright thing. So where's my page master? When I normally use oh there you go. Back there. I normally use Safari. I do my normal streams, but to bring up those videos, I've got to use Google Chrome, and everything's sort of in a different place. I don't know what I'm doing, but I hope you could hear it okay. If it was sounding bad or anything wrong, send me a message. Let me know. By the way, topped up my drink. Merry Christmas, everybody. Santa apparently is on track. I have had an update. I got a text there a while ago just saying that the storms around the place haven't disrupted him. He is okay to be arriving on time. It's all looking good for this Christmas. Apparently his sleigh, his magic sleigh, is laden. Man, they reckon Amazon's good, but seriously, Santa's had this thing down way much better than Amazon ever had, well before then, before the technology. So if you're going to invest in anything, probably invest in Santa. I think he's got a track record that's pretty safe to invest in. After Christmas, Boxing Day, I'm playing at, if the weather's fine, South Bank at the Beer Garden. Great venue. McHarl, if you see this, mate, really good manager there. And that's 4 till 9 p.m. After that, on Saturday night, I'm at Greenbank RSL in the lounge bar before the main act comes on, the band they've got on that night. I'm there, I think it's 4 till 8. So come and see me at Greenbank Services Club. On Sunday, I am at Mansfield Tavern. The mighty Mansfield, man. Rock Arena was such a great room back in the day, and they've been putting bands back in their main room. I'm in the little beer garden area doing my thing out there. And then, of course, on Wednesday, the 31st, I'm at the Full Moon Hotel with me mate Tuffy doing our disco thing. I'll be John Travolta. He can be like whoever he wants to be, depends what outfit he puts on. He'll probably go to his surf look, like his beach shirt, shorts, and Crocs or something. I'll put on a shiny shirt. I'll be the disco dude. Tuffy will be Tuffy. That's the way it works. Coming back to here, I'm going to play you another song. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. So during COVID, I wrote history pages early in COVID. Then as COVID went on, and they just totally destroyed people in my industry and people with really small businesses and cafes in order to put the fear of the government up people to get them to take their mandated experimental things. And we just started seeing how much bullshit there was going on. And the saddest thing was, I always thought as this stuff was starting to come in, I thought, it's never going to happen here because Aussies will be awake to it. They'll stand up and they'll support each other. But no, so many people, particularly people who work in the government, could work from home. They got pay rises. They didn't have to get the experimental stuff, most of them. And I thought they would, tradies. There were tradies who just made an absolute fortune because people couldn't travel, so they spent money on renovating their house. So they all supported the government. They didn't give a shit about other Australians. So to those people, that's just my happy little Christmas message to those people who wanted to support the government rather than their fellow Australian people. And yes, if that's you, I won't get over that one. But anyway, I got to the point where I was just like, I'm sick of it. I'm not going to be swallowing their fear every day. You'd put on the TV, and when Trump was in America, every day you get all these false figures. Like they put up these figures, how many people had it. Do you know how long it takes for our Queensland Health to collate information about what's happening around the country with illnesses? It's a long time. They don't release data till like 18 months, 2 years down the track on most things. But apparently during COVID, overnight, they could collate figures and put them up every day on how many people had it. Bullshit. It was like, and people believed it. People absolutely believed it. And they'd say to me, "Oh, Nick, it's so real. It's the government." Yeah, the government doesn't. The government's not set up to be able to do that type of stuff. And I got to the point where I thought, no, I'm over it. And I wrote this little song called Fear No More. And this is where I am moving forward. Whatever they're doing around the whole racial thing at the moment and the divisions they want to put between us, I'm not into it. I'm not going to swallow the fear. I'm going to believe in people. I'm going to believe in the people around me, and I'm going to believe in the Australian culture, which I think will win in the end. But we are just surrounded by. It's not. I don't think our politicians are smart enough to design all this stuff, but they're too weak to stand up and do the right thing and unite us. They get more benefits by dividing us and getting vote and political benefits from that. But anyway, this is a song I wrote later in COVID, which is called Fear No More. And this is it was just a hack little recording I did, just acoustically, and a hack little video I did just around the house. And but I think the message comes through pretty well. So this song's called Fear No More. 1, 2, 3. Ain't gonna swallow the fear no more, or the chain of lies wrapped around my door. I've got eyes through which I see. I got my mind that sets me free. Got a life will come and go, to where there's so much yet to know. With every breath I know for sure, ain't gonna swallow the fear no more. Ain't gonna swallow the fear no more. Ain't gonna swallow the fear today. All the games of hate that people play. We've got one earth that we all share, brothers and sisters everywhere. Let the oceans rise and mountains soar, with the purpose they were destined for. Then with one voice let the people say,
fear today. Ain't gonna swallow no fear today. Love over fear. Love over fear. Love over fear. Love over fear. Ain't gonna swallow no fear no more. As a leather boot kicks at my door, knock me down upon my knees. While I'm there I'll say a little prayer for thee. See the old man's hate will fade away. There'll always be a brighter day. Yeah, love is what this life is for. Ain't gonna swallow no fear no more. Ain't gonna swallow no fear no more. Love over fear. 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 Love over fear.
There you go. That's my little song there. Come back to here. Try and figure out how to get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. Then come back here. All right. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve, guys. If I was to give one message to everybody, it's this: that love reigns over fear. I grew up in a Christian background, Christian church. I have a lot of issues with church teachings, but I certainly believe a lot in Jesus' teachings. I think a lot of the church leans more to following the teachings of Paul rather than teachings of Jesus, which is a totally different discussion, and I'm not going to go down that road now. But it's just an interesting chat because you look at things in America, particularly where they've got these churches that get behind supporting wars and supporting countries that are creating wars, and to me, if you're going to look at Christianity, you've got to put it back to what Jesus said. And one was he never stood against the Ten Commandments, the core elements of Jewish tradition. He said he'd never take anything away from those Ten Commandments, which kind of give a structure to society. But he said he was going to add to it with the new commandment I give unto you to love each other as I have loved you. And if we got to a point where we based everything we did on how we love each other, we would overcome fear. When we have situations like what happened in Sydney, to where whatever group of people it happens to, we have to stand up against. But we don't need to use that to divide us. We need to be using that to unite us, to say, I really believe 97% of people, in my estimation, are really good people who just want to live their good lives and live their lives, raise their children. I think we get things wrong within our country. We do tend to, with our immigration, I believe, allow people to come in, and it's natural when people come in from a separate country. They're scared. They really don't know what they're doing. They will congregate in their own little communities, and what they do these days, because we let it happen, and that kind of breeds dissension. They bring in a lot of these issues that they've had overseas. I believe immigration is a good thing, but I think people coming into our country should actually have to spend time. If they're going to come here and live the life, they need to go through the hard yards of living in regional Queensland. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing living in regional Queensland. It's the best thing ever. But for them, it's hard because they're separated from their group of people. But it's hard for the first generation. It's hard for the parents. But once their kids get established in communities, they become Aussies. The second generation of kids happened in World War II. You'd have the Italians come over here after World War II, for example. It was really hard for the parents to settle in. But their kids, who were my mates growing up, they were Italian. They were the Wogs. When we play football, we'd play with the Wogs or against the Wogs, and that wasn't a derogatory term as far as we were concerned. They were really cool. They were great football players, and we'd be playing football in the schoolyard with an Italian accent, trying to be cool like them. But the kids became Aussies. They brought the culture and brought the richness, but they became Aussies, and that's what wherever it's from. I'm not getting into the politics of the moment because I don't think Aussies want the politics of the moment. We're just saying we have a great country. Yes, we need people to come out here, but don't get in your little group and bring your bullshit here. Get out into our communities, become part of our communities. And I really honestly believe most of my friends aren't racist. If you're a good bloke wherever you come from, most of my friends will accept you as a good bloke, and that's it. Conversation done. If you want to bring your baggage and everything else here, we get our backs up because we don't want that shit. We want people to come here, live a good life, be part of our culture, and let their children become Aussies. That's my rant anyway about that stuff. Guys, I've just done this little thing in case you were a bit lonely tonight with Christmas coming in, or if you look at it afterwards, whatever, it's just me rambling. And as once again, I'm trying to figure out how to do this whole stuff online. I have some episodes coming up of my Aussie Local and Live program, which are the kind of the real things I do, where I have a chat with people and they look nice and polished and everything's kind of done properly. This one isn't one of them. This is me on Christmas Eve having a drink, having a chat, exploring some ideas. I got to grow this thing to a point where people actually start joining in with some comments because I would love to be sitting here chatting to people. But to do that takes time. You just got to keep doing episode after episode after episode, all this stuff, and eventually it kicks in. But is what it is. I'm going to play one last song. This is over the last year. I've really only released one song. I've got more I've written, and I'm actually thinking I would love to. I'm trying to get to record a new album, which would be I'm going to make it very, very acoustic, very stripped back. I want to tell the stories about the songs. And I'd probably release it as a live album, I think, where I just get a small group of people together, hopefully maybe in Jason Millhouse's studio there, and we record it. And I'm trying to figure out how to make it work financially, because that's a big thing when you record the songs. You've got to figure out how to make it work. And I'm thinking maybe I just put one song out there to stream and have the rest of the album just available through my website or Bandcamp. I'm thinking I'll go that way. Anyway, that's a bit of the way down the track now. But this song I did is called One Thing on My Mind. And yeah, over the years, I've met a lot of good friends. Well, no, actually, I've never had many. I had a small number of close friends. My family are definitely my closest. My kids, by far, are my best friends. But along the way in music, I have met some fellow people that I share a lot with, and a couple of those people were a guy James Blundell, another guy Carl Brody. Carl, you guys probably won't know his name. He's a Scottish origin. Lived out here for a long time. He was a great singer-songwriter, really great singer-songwriter that never had the success he deserved. And once again on Bandcamp, check out. I know is Carl stuff on Bandcamp. Let me check. Let's do this. May not be. Hang on, no. Anyway, on Spotify, it's definitely on Spotify. Check out Carl Karl Brody. He had some great, really great songs. But James Blundell, Carl, and myself did a thing for a while called we did some shows called the Like-Minded Felons, and we'd all do like a 20-minute spot each, and then we'd jump up together and have a debaucherous time playing songs together. I remember Blundell being in the fetal position at the end of some of our gigs, just having drunk too much and having so much fun. It was great. But we had this little period where we went down. At that time, Jimmy had a place down in Central Coast in Foster. And we went down there and we recorded some songs, and I wrote a song for that little session we did. We were trying to do it like the Neil Young Tonight's the Night album, where it was kind of rough and ready and drunken and just had that loose vibe about the whole thing. We recorded this song, but of course nothing ever happened with it. But I did re-record the song. Where do we go to here? Seriously, man, I've got to figure this stuff out. It's just ba, 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 ba. See if this works. This is that song. After this song, I'll say goodbye to everyone. I really wish you a great Christmas tomorrow. Please come out and check out some of my gigs when you can. I appreciate you checking these videos out, whether it's live. Hopefully, I can get more people on live eventually, but for now, whenever you see it, send me a message. Tell me how much it sucks or you enjoy it or whatever. I don't care. Go for that. Share. This song's called One Thing on My Mind. It's really about nothing. It's about just having so many thoughts going through your head at once that you think you got one thing going on, but you got many things going on. I know that's the case for many people coming up to Christmas, but love you all. Enjoy this song. I'll stop this little episode after it, but it's called One Thing on My Mind. No, it's not working, is it? Hang on. Oh, come back to where is it?
A label on its face.
Yeah, shut up there.
A lid on its head.
I'll come back to here. Got to go to the right. That one there, one there. There we go. Need to go back then to the beginning of this. And I think this will work properly. If it doesn't, I'll change it again. Too bad. But love you all.
Got a label on its face, a lid on its head. There's ice in the glass that brings life to the dead. I've got one thing on my mind. I got one thing on my mind. It's got a neck that's so long, a body of wood, lifts me to places that no one else could have. Got one thing on my mind. I got one thing on my mind. I got a degree in denial, a doctorate of faith, a vision of tomorrow outside time and space. I got one thing on my mind. I shadowy hue, a tapestry smile, a convergence of youth. I got one thing on my mind. I've got one thing on my mind. I got fish in the ocean, birds in my hair, a dog up my sleeve, got a Russell Crowe stare. I got one thing on my mind. I got one thing on my mind. I got one thing on my mind. I got one thing.
Hey guys, just hang there for a sec. Got something to tell you. Is that gone? That there was a shot towards the end of the clip there where someone was playing spoons. That was my sister Janelle, and she got pretty pissed off that she only got a very small appearance in the video because she's obviously a world class spoon player. And I actually bought her a gift of some spoons, which her husband threw into some bushes because he was sick of her playing them. But she recovered them. So Janelle, sorry that you had a small appearance in the video clip, but it was just about context. You know, it's like how do you balance these things out? Yeah, there you go. That's what life's about. Hey, how do you balance things out? All right, guys, going to end the stream. Have a great Christmas. I'll do some more of this stuff next week sometime, whenever it happens. It's going to be a bit awkward around Christmas and New Year, but I'll get back to my normal programming probably a week after New Year. Love to everybody. Hang out with your family. Don't stress about stuff. Nothing. Literally, we're so lucky to be alive. We're so lucky to be having this whole experience. There's nothing really worth stressing about. Seriously. If it all ends tomorrow, we've had this experience, and I think there's a bigger experience waiting for us around the corner. So go with the flow.